Welcome to the new Extrarunde of Biathlon with Ron and Hendrik. Today, the interview with Ingrid Landmark Tandrevold, her win at Blinkfestivalen, how the first World Cup experience ended in the hospital, and 15 minutes in the yellow bib.
Yeah, Hendrik, this is our first episode in English, and let's see how this will work out for us in our best school English, I think. But yeah, I think the interview was quite okay. You can understand what we said, and let's see how this will end.
Yes, of course. And I think we should say hello to our non-German speaking audience who listen for the first time our podcast. Hello.
Yeah, and we start with an international guest from Norway, Ingrid Landmark Tandrevold. I think everyone who is into biathlon should know who Ingrid is because, I think she will probably have a bright future in biathlon.
For sure.
And already won some medals in biathlon. So, quite successful. And let's see what the next World Cup season will bring for her.
Mm-hmm.
And
looking forward to her first World Cup victory.
She had no World Cup victory, but a lot of podiums, I think.
Yes.
And if you didn't know, she was one of the top 5 prone shooters last season. She had one of the best hit ratios there. You can also see that on our Instagram account. Check that out if you haven't seen it yet. And I think that's interesting for all the biathlon fans. Mm-hmm. And let's not talk anymore and listen to that interview with Ingrid Landmark Tandrevold.
Yeah, exactly. And for you listeners, please give us feedback on Instagram and tell us who should be our next guest in our special episodes.
Yeah, it would be cool. And let's jump in and we wish you a lot of fun.
Let's go.
So today, our first interview in English, and our guest is none other than Ingrid Landmark Tandrevold from Norway. Hello, Ingrid.
Hello.
Hello.
Ingrid, I think you're freshly back from Blinkfestivalen yesterday in Norway with quite good results, I'd say, yeah? First place in the mustard. And Ingrid, let's talk a little bit about that last lap yesterday in the mustard, because that was quite impressive on the skis, I think.
Yeah, it was actually really good. I felt really good. It was the third competition of the week, and the first two was not the best, I think. But yesterday, on the last day, I finally felt that I woke up after the summer vacation and had some good skiing and also some good shooting. So roller skis are not my favorite. I prefer snow and skiing, so I was really satisfied with a good result there in the summer because, to be honest, Blinkfestivalen and racing in summer have never been my favorite. It's always like it's like you come into the shooting range in the skiing and you feel like you've never done it before, and then. Fortunately, you come some months later in the winter, and it feels like it's actually your job.
Yeah, pretty impressive, I think, especially against Marta Olsby-Reuseland, because she's quite a good skier too, I think.
Yeah, it's I don't think I've ever met Marta like on the last lap like yesterday. Yeah, so I just had to take my chance. It's not that often that we meet and have a fight about the victory. So I hope we can meet again for that fight in the winter.
Yeah, well done.
Okay, Ingrid, before we dive deep into your career, for people who might not know you, introduce yourself, please.
Well, I'm 23 years old. I'm a biathlete in the Norwegian national team. I have one silver medal from a sprint in the World Championships, and 2 gold medals in the relay team. My favorite stadium is Ruhpolding and maybe Hoffilsen. And I think my favorite discipline is pursuit.
So that's some questions we always ask in the end, but okay.
So you are not only biathlete, but also podcaster and YouTuber. But let's concentrate on the biathlon part and tell us, how did you get into biathlon?
Well, I have two older brothers. They did biathlon. They are 4 and 6 years older than me. So, and in Norway, we start early with like real rifles and real ammunition. Not like, for example, in Italy, I know they shoot with I don't know. It's not the real rifles from a young age, but in Norway we do. So. In the trainings, you're like you're 10 or 11 or 12 years old, and you have to bring one of your parents because they have to like take care of the security.
Are you used to the rifle you're using at the moment also when you're 10 or 11 years old?
Yes.
Ah, great.
Well, you have support under the rifle, and you don't wear it on your back and stuff like that. But you shoot on bigger targets, but it's the same ammunition, the same rifle. So it's you have to be really careful with the security, of course, and then you have to have your parents there, at least a lot of grown-ups, and my mother always were there with my brothers, and I had to join because I was too little to stay alone at home. So I was always like sitting in the snow behind the stadium and building a snowman and just waiting. And of course, I thought it looked fun with shooting, and I did a lot of skiing myself. And of course, I wanted to do the same as my brothers in every aspect of life, actually. So it was very natural for me to start doing biathlon myself.
Mm-hmm. And do you remember when you knew that you were going to do biathlon professionally?
I remember I wanted to quit biathlon because I was such a bad shooter, and I was a good skier when I was younger, and I didn't manage the shooting, and I'm shooting links.
Yes.
Yes, and we say links in Norwegian
Germany too.
But I'm shooting links, and I didn't. I had to shoot with my brother's rifle, and that was reicht. Is that the right word? I don't know. But so I shot like the opposite with with my left eye, but with the right-handed rifle, and it was impossible. And I just had so many penalty loops every time, and I wanted to quit. But then in the the Norwegian championships, when I was 15 years old, I suddenly hit the targets and I had a really good race. And that feeling of like when you succeeded something you tried so hard to do, it was a much better feeling than just doing a good cross-country skiing race. So then I wanted to continue one more year, and I think I just got confident on the shooting and managed to hit some targets, and then it was biathlon all the way.
Yeah, quite impressive. And you're also a left-hander in your everyday life?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
And the only one in my family, and I don't know why.
Do you think you have some advantages or disadvantages at the shooting range because of that?
I remember I sent an email to the federation when I was younger, like maybe 15 years old or something, and because I felt it was unfair that I had to like do a little
turn around,
little round into the shooting. It was like 2 seconds more maybe than the others. So I felt it was unfair, and I wanted like this rule that every left-handed shooter could have, for example, 3 seconds less in every shooting than the others. But then I only got the response that Simon Eder was one of the fastest shooters in the world, and he was left-handed, so I just had to train more. But I think it's a bit of a disadvantage. But an advantage is maybe that in standing shooting, for example, I'm very used to looking at the others when I shoot, because I always, if you are behind me, you see, we just see right at each other. And maybe I'm used to it, but if I come into shooting with another athlete, they're not so used to it. So I maybe can, I don't know, freak them out in some way. I haven't tried that yet, but maybe I will try.
Yeah, that could be. And Ingrid, I'd say let's have a look at your career, your starts. And I think you started pretty strong into your first Youth World Championship in 2015. You collected gold in the pursuit, silver in the individual, bronze in the sprint and relay. So you had 4 medals out of 4 races. And I looked that up. In your first 12 international races, your worst placement was a 15th place in the sprint of the European Championship. And except of that, all your results were in the top 10. So quite impressive, I think. And you collected even more gold at the Junior World Championship 2016 and 17 with the relay. You won 2017 also silver with the sprint, bronze in the pursuit. So lots of medals. And I think today you're one of the best biathletes in women's biathlon. And at that time, in 2017, Ingrid, did you already think about being one of the strongest biathletes in the World Cup today?
No, but I remember I came to my first Youth World Championships, and on the last day of the pursuit, I started crying in the zeroing because I was so obsessed with winning, and I was so disappointed because I had bronze and silver, but not the gold medal, and I was my zeroing was not so good, and I was like, not today! I want to win. I need to win, and so and that was one of my first time competing international, and so I think I already set really high goals for myself, and in the European Championships, the 2 years later or something, in 2016 or 1 year later, I was really surprised to be one of the fastest in the sprint, but then I think I got really confident to know that I could be up there, and
because they were older, right?
Yes, and I had never competed with the seniors before, at least not international. So but after that year, I was in the A team in Norway, and to be honest, it's always easy to say like now, and to like look back and see what you could have done different. But one thing I think about is that when I came to the A team, how can I say it? I think I forgot that I had done something right to come there in such a young age, because I forgot to listen to myself, to listen to my feeling and my body, and I just listened to like the coaches and just try to do like the other athletes, and they were much older than me, but so maybe they had more training and they trained differently. But I think that I had some years there where I didn't make any progress because I didn't train and did the work that my body wanted to, and also my head, and I didn't like believe in myself for some years there, and it was some tough years when I just I came into the World Cup and knew that I hadn't done the training and required, and I was not ready. But since we were not so many athletes, I had to compete in the World Cup, and you're not building confidence when you start in a sprint and your only goal is to manage to get into the pursuit.
Okay. Yeah, of course. You gave your World Cup debut in 2015-16 in Khanty-Mansiysk, right? With the 29th place in the sprint and the 37th place in the pursuit. So directly landed in the points. But yeah, I get what you say. You said like
Yeah, that
You're not
was
winning,
a really
right?
good race,
Yeah.
but when I was there in Kanti, I was really disappointed because of course I didn't want to be in number 29. But the year after, I realized that actually was a really good result, and I think that I took some steps back before I did some good races again, and that was, I think I wasted 2 years, but you learn more of your mistakes than of the good things you do.
So your first World Cup impression wasn't so satisfying for you at the time?
No, it was both the races and the whole Conti experience was actually really weird because we had 2 races and then the mass start got cancelled because there was so much wind that there was the lights, they fell down into the shooting range.
Okay.
And then there was a big party, and on that party I had really big issues with my stomach, and I had to go to the hospital, and I missed the plane back to Norway, and I was stuck in Kantimansisk and was in the hospital where no one spoke English, and it was the sickest experience of my life. And my coach and we were there, and we had one Russian girl helping us translate everything, but and then we managed to hit the last plane to Munich. Because that was the last plane before the Easter holiday. And if we didn't get on that plane, I would be stuck in Kanti for 2 weeks.
So you would start for Russia now?
Yeah, but actually my grandfather is from Russia, from Siberia. So I felt, at first I felt, this is partly my home, but when I was in the hospital and didn't understand anything, I felt that this is very far from home.
Yeah, of course. 2016-17, you didn't do so many races. You only had like 4 World Cup stages, I think, and did the European Championship and the Junior World Championships. And you never started in the IBU Cup, is that right? Except of those European Championships and Junior World Championships?
Yes, the year that was my first year on the A team, and I had really much health issues in the autumn. I didn't do so many races. I did some World Cup races, and I did the Junior World Championships, and I think that maybe I managed to get a medal.
Yes. You get a medal.
But that was like I had to find some power from another year because I had been not training the way I wanted to that year. So it was a really tough year for me, and I don't remember so much from that year because I only wanted to forget it. But but I think I have when you look back, I feel I learned a lot from that year, and learned that there's a lot of people that know a lot, and they know a lot about training and how your body works and everything, but I know the most about myself, and I have to trust my own feeling. So I think I learned that year.
Yeah, and I think you were a constant part of the World Cup team in Norway in the season 17-18, the Olympic season. Yeah, you had a lot of World Cup stages where you started, and except of some where you were missing. And but you also had your first top 10 here, and that was pretty early in the season in Hofilsen, a 5th place.
Yeah, that was. I think that was the happiest girl in the flower ceremony ever. So since I still were in Norway, we have had maybe been quite restrictive with like to go to World Cup and to compete a lot of races. So I didn't have the chance to compete in so many races because the coaches meant I was not ready. But I had that chance and that opportunity, and I felt in Hoffilsen, there's can be a lot of snow and maybe difficult conditions. And I remember that year I heard, because I was one of the latest start numbers, I heard that there was a lot of people missing the targets, and I felt that, okay, today, this is my chance. You're not the best skier, but you can shoot clean today. And I did. So that was, I think, one of the races I'm the most satisfied with. And but unfortunately, I felt I was like in a flow, but then I had to go home because I was not allowed to compete the next weekend. And I think that maybe that's a big difference between cross country skiing and biathlon, is that in biathlon it's so much more about confidence, and then if you're in a good flow, you just have to keep on, because then you have the confidence. And it's, even though you're maybe a bit more tired in your body, if you feel confident, you can still do a really good race. So after that season, I decided that I want to compete in every race possible.
Yeah, and you also started in Pyeongchang, your first big event, and your best placement was 42nd place in the pursuit. But you were only 21 years old, and what do you think with 21 years at that time? Did you have any expectations for the Olympics?
I've always set really high goals for myself, but I didn't know what to expect because I had never been to the Olympics before, and I don't think I was ready mentally because I had never been in Pyeongchang before. I didn't compete the year before. I was not prepared for the wind conditions and the media and everything. Like, in winter sports in Norway, there's a lot of pressure. And the Olympics was not a good experience for me, but as every other bad experience, you learn a lot. So I think that I was there. I saw how it was. I got to be in an Olympic, to be a part of the Olympic team, and I think that for 2022, I'm much more prepared, and I will definitely go to Beijing this year to know the tracks, to have the tracks and the shooting range in my head for the last year before the Olympics, to feel that I'm much more prepared.
That was also the last year where you could have started in the Junior World Championship, right? Collecting some more gold.
Yeah, maybe I don't. I was 21, so maybe did I start? No, I didn't. No.
So no intention to start here.
I was, even though the Olympics I didn't receive any good results. I wanted to be in the Olympics, not in the Junior World Championships. It was much bigger for me.
Yeah, I think that's a big experience for everyone when you're an athlete, right? And you said that you wanted to race all races in a World Cup season, and I think you did that in 2018 and 19. And you made a huge improvement. I think you jumped from the 40th place in the season before to the 11th place. Quite huge improvement. And I think one of the highlights was the mustard in Ruhpolding. And I think that's why you like Ruhpolding, maybe.
Definitely, that's the main reason I like Ruhpolding. But I can still wake up in the night and I'm like, that finish. Why did I do like this, not like that? And I feel that was one of the coolest races I've ever done, and my parents they were there, and I had hit 20 targets, and that's not very common for me.
Your first podium, right?
Yes, and it was. I had done some really bad races the days before. And then I just had to forget all the bad races and start again. And I was one of the last ones to qualify for the mass start. So that was a big day for me, definitely.
Yeah, it was a really exciting race. And as a side note, for the listeners who have not seen this, go and check it out on YouTube. Do you sometimes watch older races where you started?
No, I don't. I don't always watch the races. Sometimes I watch them if I so I can watch like my skiing and to see some technical improvements and my shooting and try to see the technical stuff. But I don't really watch so much of my own races because it's a lot of biathlon in my head, and there's a lot of focus on biathlon, and sometimes you just need to relax and think about other things. But I must say that the race in the sprint in Östersund, I had to watch again.
Yeah, great race. And I think since that race in Ruhpolding, you were regularly under the top 10 in the World Cup. And do you think that was kind of a special moment for you mentally, that it gave you some confidence or something?
Yes, definitely. I felt that I did a good race, but it was not like extraordinary. It was just a very good race. And that was the first time I felt that, okay, I can be up there. I can be on the podium if I just do normal, if I just do like I do in trainings. And I think before that race in Ruhpolding, I was always on the start and feeling that I could be up there, but I felt that I had to do like a really impressive race and the best race ever. But after that race, I realized that, okay, I can do a good race and that's good enough. And that was a very big thing mentally for me, and I could like relax a bit more and don't hope for miracles every time I was in the start.
Yeah, and I think you did really great after that, especially in Östersund. You just said it, silver in the sprint and gold with the relay. And do you think that silver medal in the sprint is your greatest achievement so far?
Yeah, I think that medal is my greatest achievement. Yes, I think because I that day I had like the worst zeroing ever. I think I missed every shot on standing, and my coach Patrick he showed me the zeroing, and I think he just lied to me and put the shots into the target, but they were all misses, and I was nervous and I didn't feel that I was good enough prepared. I had been tired after competitions in America, but then I got my bib on and I started, and I felt that, okay, I can do this. And it's not so many sprints I hit all the 10 targets, and that I managed to do it in the World Championships. I was really satisfied with, and I think it was a very special feeling because maybe I believed that I could win a medal, but I don't think anyone else believed that I would be in the top 3, and that feeling I will never have again, because now people expect that I will be up there, and if I'm not, people are not satisfied, or the media and everything. But on that day, I felt that everyone was just happy for me, with me, and I didn't expect it. No one expected it. So it was a really weird but good day.
Yeah, I think you're right. Nobody expected that maybe. But going into the next season, the last season, 2019-20, your best season so far, I think a lot of people expected you to be, a biathlete in front in the World Cup, yeah. And I think you proved that with your 7th place in the World Cup. And you were super strong in December. You had like 3 podiums and was only once out of the top 12, I think. And in the mustard of Le Grand Bornand, you were in the yellow bib, Ingrid. And
yeah, I know.
think
it's still crazy. Even though I only wore it for like 15 minutes. But I can always say that I wore the yellow jersey.
So is it different to start in the yellow jersey when you're on the start? Because the race wasn't so good for you, right?
No, it was not the best, but it was, or I remember I was really not satisfied afterwards because I was number 12, I think. But after the Christmas break, I had some really bad races. And then I thought, oh, number 12, I wish I was number 12. So it's, I think that's biathlon. It's ups and it's downs. It's ups and downs. And like I said, when you're in the flow, it feels so easy, and the targets, they just go down and everything works. And then like 2 weeks later, nothing is working. So I think I'm learning to appreciate the good races more, because it's not in biathlon like you can just go in there and do a good race and just repeat it. It's really hard, I think, and I think you can see it in the results. You can win one day and you can be number 30 the next day. So yeah, when I look back, I'm really impressed with the consistency before Christmas last year, and that's what's been motivating me this year to take the steps to be on, maybe to be on a higher level, that my top level is good, but I think I have to improve my bottom level, because that's really bad. So after the Christmas break, I had some races when, if you have a really bad day in the sprint, the whole weekend is ruined. So I think that's the main part I need to improve before the next season.
And did you get more attention from fans or media because of the yellow bib?
Well, maybe not because of the yellow bib, not so much, but I remember I just had to put out a photo on Instagram that day, because even though I did a bad race, but I just had to find an excuse to put out the photo in the yellow bib, because even though it was a bad race, I was really proud to wear it. So
For sure.
I think I just put out the picture and said, like, thank you for cheering for me, and thank you to my sponsors and waxmen and coaches and teammates. And that was like, it was not necessary to put it out on Instagram, but I just had to, because I was a bit proud.
Yeah, but I think after December, you were one of the big contenders maybe for the big Crystal Globe. And you had really good results so far. And going into the World Championship of Antholz, or Antalsalva, you say, I think. What were your expectations in front of those World Championships?
I really wanted to have a medal, but I knew that it was not like that I could just come and collect the medal. But I felt I was nervous because I hadn't done any good races in the altitude before, but I felt that I had a lot of days and training camps in altitude last year, and I felt really good prepared. And on the sprint, I felt in a really, really good shape. Maybe too good, because I was maybe doing my skiing a bit too fast to come into the standing shooting, and I had a really, really, really bad experience in the standing shooting, which, in biathlon, it's you can see that in the World Championships, there's always someone, they have like this perfect championship with a lot of medals, and then there's someone that's just doing a really shitty championships. And I think that's a lot of the start into the championship. If you do a good sprint, then you often have a good pursuit, and then you feel confident, and then you have managed your goals, and then you just relax and do the same. But if you have 4 misses on standing, like I did and like Tiril did, then you're always like struggling in the back, and you're trying to do even better, and then you just think too much and you try to do everything different, that obviously didn't work.
Yeah, but you got the gold medal in the relay. I think that was very expected from everyone because you're by far the strongest team in the women's relay, I think. But Ingrid, let's have a look at the upcoming season. And what are your plans for the next season? Is the yellow bib maybe something that you're thinking about?
The biggest goal for me the next season is to take or to win an individual race in the World Cup. I have never. Oh, sorry, it was my boyfriend.
It's okay.
I have never been on the top of the podium and felt that today I was the best, and that's a feeling I really want to feel. So that's like the main goal, and then of course I really want to try to be up there before Christmas last year, when you feel that every weekend you're up there in the top 10 and you feel like you have something to fight for, because that's the fun part about biathlon. So to take one World Cup win individual and to
it's about time, I think.
and to improve my bottom level. That's the biggest goals for me.
Yeah,
and I like Pokljuka a lot, so I'm looking forward to the championships there.
Yeah, that's a good sign, I think. So, I think that's great targets for you, and I think you might do that. But let's talk a little bit about your podcast that you're doing with Ingrid, and it's called Kant ut.
Tiril.
With Tiril, sorry.
Yes, not with myself.
And it's called Kant ut. And
yes.
Ingrid, what does that mean?
Kant ut, it means, I don't know, I will try to explain it in English. It's when you miss the target, but you miss it with only a millimeter or something. It's it's almost going up, but then it goes down. So it's Tiril and I, we felt that was the story of our life, that we almost there, but no, we weren't. So that's the name. It's Kant ut with Tiril and Ingrid. And one of them, we started as a podcast with where we had different themes about strength training and about summer training and different
So you give tips and something like that?
Yes. But but then it just ended with a podcast with us telling about everything and nothing, and of course a lot about training and that stuff, but also a lot about everyday life and our not so glamorous lives as biathletes. And every episode we have this topic called Kant in or Kant ut, and that means it means that the target is almost missing but going up, or almost hitting and not going up. So, and then we, for example, you can give a Kant in to someone that has done a good thing, or you can give a Kant ut to people not wearing helmets when they're roller skiing, and every different kind of topic. So I think it's really cool because now we have our own podcast family with listeners, and we maybe made it for teenagers and younger athletes, but we have listeners in every age from 10 years old to 70 years old, and from Norway, Sweden, and even a lot of listeners from Denmark. So
they understand Norwegian.
They understand Norwegian, but I think they feel they say we talk a bit fast.
Okay, so for us it's not understandable.
No, but
sad.
I think we have some German fans that use our podcast to try to learn Norwegian.
Okay.
Yeah, but I think we talk maybe a bit too fast, and then we use a lot of words that's not in the dictionary.
Yeah, not so common. Yeah, right.
Yeah, so it's hard to understand, I think. But some people try. I think that we have been asked to have some podcast in English, but it's really hard to be funny in English.
But your English is quite good, Ingrid.
it's much harder than in Norwegian. So there's a lot of laughter and fun, I think, at least for us in our podcast, and to tell everything in English, it's really hard, but maybe sometime.
Yeah, I think that's how we know you two, of course. But you're also doing YouTube, and I think that's your own thing, right?
Yes, that's my own little project. And I started with YouTube of many of the same reasons as we did with the podcast, to like show our fans and people more than what you see on the TV screen, because then you only see the races and then you see if you do good or bad, but you never see all the like things happening behind. Yeah, I think it's very fun to show like everyday life, that I think that many people have like this they have these thoughts about how you live your life as an athlete, and then you can show them that's okay, you're just a really regular, boring maybe person that have like your own issues and your own way of living. And for me, for example, I really like to be in the mountains, be out in the nature, and if I can inspire other people and other young athletes to like use the nature and or to eat healthy and good foods, I really want to like be a good example for people. So if I can show them, I hope to inspire them.
Yeah, did you think about taking your fans with you to the World Cup? Because I think you're only doing that in the off season, right? And I'm thinking about like Johannes Klæbo. You know him, I think.
Yes.
Quite good skier.
I really wanted to do some vlogs from the World Cup and to show the like behind the scenes, but we're not allowed from the IBU. I brought my camera, but they were so I had to come to the main office of the IBU, and they had to yell at me because of the TV production. I think they have the TV production. They pay a lot of money to send everything on the TV, so I'm not allowed to film inside the accreditation zone. So it's really hard to do some vlogs from the World Cup, but I mean, I can film in the hotel and everything, but not from the stadium and not from the inside the accredited zone. So it's I think it's sad, because I think it's only positive sides of showing the sport, and you like
I think it's a good thing to grow the sport, right?
And if I could film inside and like film the other athletes, film our friends from the other teams, I think that people only would get to know people better and would continue to watch biathlon. So in that discussion, I really disagree with the IBU, but there's nothing I can do with it now. But I hope they maybe change the rules for the next seasons.
I think Timofey Lapshin, you know him, the South Korean Russian starting for South Korea. He also has a YouTube channel and is filming like training and the World Cup stages and so on, and the athletes.
Yeah, maybe he's breaking the rules, and I don't know. But when I bring my camera, I think I just have to hide it. So but I hope that next year, and especially if we have to compete without audience or spectators, maybe we can do more filming, like to show people more and to make more fun out of the competitions, because without the spectators, there's not so much more.
You also have subtitles, right? So for the English-speaking crowd?
Yes, I have subtitles on most of my videos, not everything, but in most of them I have.
Yeah, that's great, I think.
By the way, when talking about languages, do you have some German skills?
Every year when I come to Oberhof,
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking, okay, this year, this is my year. This time I will speak German. I will learn German, and it's not so hard. It's almost like Norwegian. You just have to say the Norwegian word with this German accent, and they understand. And I try, and then I come to Rupolding, and then I feel like, I'm not so bad. And then Antos, and yeah, it's getting better and better. And then we go home or another place, and then I have to start again the next year. But I had French in school.
Yeah.
And I wish I had German. Because, but when I was 13 years old, I didn't think that, you need German because that's the most important biathlon language. I just picked language. So I wish I learned it from a young age, because it's really much more easy to learn when you're younger. But every year I think that this year, now I will speak German.
So could you say some words in German?
The sentence I use the most is "Ich weiß nicht," because I can answer to everything. So it's really bad, and I sometimes because I'm allergic to some foods, I can ask like Sie haben glutenfrei und like that kind of important questions for me. But but the main problem is that if I like practice one sentence and I ask that sentence, the problem is that they answer in German.
Yeah, of
I
course.
don't understand the answer because I haven't practiced that answer. So then I have to change to English again. So
but
it's not so good.
But I think it's better than my Norwegian.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, of course.
But I think that says more about your Norwegian than my German.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think now it's time for our little section, questions that we always ask our guests here. And the first one is, do you have any rituals before the start of a race?
Yes, I have too many rituals actually, because it's ritual, but it's always like these thoughts I feel in my head that if I don't do them, I will not succeed. But I have to always do some yoga exercises. I have to do some minutes on my foam roller, and then I have to, like with my back, to manipulate like I don't know what you say when you hear the noises from
cracking.
Yes, cracking my back. And my neck. And I have to wear some special socks. And some different I have some different rituals, but and I had one necklace I had to wear because I wore it the first time I did a good race. But after some bad races, I felt it didn't work. So I had to change.
But isn't it hard when you forget something like your necklace or something and you think, today will not be a good day or something like that?
Yes, but then you sometimes do a good race even without the rituals, and then I can do a good race even though I didn't do yoga today, I think that's really good for me because it only gets like more and more, one more ritual after one more ritual, and then maybe in 1 year I don't make the start because I have too many rituals.
Ingrid, you said that your favorite places or World Cup venues are Ruhpolding and Hofilsen. Is that because of the memories you had there?
Yes, it's because it's I have some good memories with the good races there, and also in Ruhpolding we live in we have a really like small hotel with only the Norwegian team, and we always have our own chef and with us, and it's a lot of Norwegians there cheering for us, and so that's it's like always this good atmosphere there. And of course, I don't mean to say anything bad about Oberhof, but after a week in Oberhof, it's always feeling so sunny in Ruhpolding, even though maybe it's not. But after Oberhof, it's always good to come to Ruhpolding.
The German athletes always say it's only in the first week of January or the first 2 weeks, but I don't know.
Okay, normally the next question is your favorite racing format in biathlon, but I think you already said it before with the pursuit. Okay, so we can go on.
Prone or standing shooting, Ingrid?
Prone shooting, definitely. I really want to say standing shooting because that's like the shooting that can like to be it's the last shooting, it's the most important shooting, but prone shooting has always been my best shooting. So definitely prone shooting, and I'm always trying to improve my standing shooting.
Yeah, I think you were in the top 5 of the best prone shooters last season. We had a graphic about that, yeah.
Yes, the prone shooting was really good, so it's all about standing shooting.
Okay.
What is the coolest thing about biathlon for you?
The coolest thing about biathlon is maybe that, well, it's maybe a cliche to say, but for me that I can like travel and compete and do the one thing in the world I love the most, after my boyfriend, of course. But,
only because he's in the room, right?
Only because he's in the room. But to do the one thing I really love to do and call it my job, and to travel with my teammates and my best friend Tiril, and have so much fun with my coaches Patrick and Sverre, and that I can actually call it my job. That's I think the coolest thing, in that I can also that I can be a person that people maybe look up to, and to try to be a good role model. That's I think it's really cool, and it's something that not everyone is so lucky that they can experience.
So what annoys you the most about biathlon?
Well, some people ask me, why do you chose biathlon? Because you have so much feelings. It goes up and down, and maybe that's the most annoying thing about biathlon, that you can be so close, but yet so far. and you feel like you've done almost everything right, but then you have like 2 misses with like a millimeter, and then the race is really bad.
That's true.
Until this point in time, what was your favorite moment in biathlon?
I think that maybe in Le Grand Bonnard last year, when Tiril won and I was number 2, that was a really special moment. And that, we were on the podium together. We both did. We have trained so much together, and we both. I know how hard she has been training, and she knows how hard I've been working, and we both succeeded at the same time. And afterwards, my wax man, he came to me and told me that tomorrow you will be wearing the yellow bib. I think that's the one of the biggest achievements, and one of the things I remember the most.
Yeah, I could imagine that. But did you have any role models in biathlon?
Yes, I always looked up to Emil Svensson. A lot, and I was so lucky that I got to be on part of the team when he still was, and he was a really good role model, and he was really taking care of me. And as I said, I had some health struggles and some issues in the first years, and he was really caring, and he took really good care of me, and I I felt that I chose the right role model because he was even better than I thought he was.
And are you having any role models outside of biathlon?
Yes, I always looked really up to my mom. Because she always see good things in people. She always have like this. She always has 5 minutes extra for everyone, and always puts everyone's happiness. Or if she's always happy if people around her are happy. So she's always looking out for people and taking good care of people around her. And yeah, that's something I really look up to.
Yeah, great. Ingrid, what would you do today if you were in the biathlete, professional biathlete? Another profession or something?
I really, some years ago, I really wanted to become a doctor, but now I think that I wanted to more study and work with nutrition and with overweight and nutrition is a really big problem in the world right now, and I really want to learn people how they can make food that tastes really good but are still healthy, and how and to learn people how amazing the body really is, and if you feed it right you can do amazing things. And to learn young people about being proud of their body, to treat it right, to be outside, and that kind of working in health, I think.
Yeah, awesome.
Now, at the end, we have 3 more special quests for you. And the first one is complete this sentence, Ingrid. I would never.
I would never be on, I don't know if you have these TV shows in Germany, but X on the Beach, Paradise Hotel.
Yeah, of course.
Yes, Big Brother.
Yes.
I would never be on that kind of TV show.
Yeah, that's
answer.
good. I can understand that. So Ingrid, now you can put together your best biathlete in the world, and it's only your opinion, and it doesn't matter if she or he is active, inactive, if he is a man, a woman. Which attributes would you take and from whom?
I think I would take the guts, you have the word guts in German, or like the spirit from Neuen.
Yeah.
Yes, because she was so young and just came into the championships and boom, 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 boom.
Oh, yes.
And then I would take the skiing from Johannes. Yes, of course. And then I would take the standing shootings from Tora Berger.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's new for us. Yeah.
Okay, and the last one is, imagine you had a billboard in a big city, let's say Times Square in New York. Everyone can read it. Which message would you write on that billboard?
Oh, really hard questions. I would, since I am really interested and think nutrition is really important, I would write the sentence from, I don't remember who said it, but one very wise man, he said, eat food, mostly greens, not too much. I think that if people do that, everyone will stay more healthy. We will have a more sustainable food industry, and I think that we will live longer and live better.
Yeah, wise words from Ingrid Landmark Tandrevold.
It was not me that invented those sentences, but I think it's well said.
Yeah, it's great, I think. And Ingrid, tell our audience, please, where they can find you if they want to know a little bit more about you or see a little bit more about you. Or maybe hear a little bit more about you.
They can, people can find me on Instagram at Ingrid Tand, and they can find me on YouTube with the same name, and they can also find me on Instagram with which is Tiril and Tiril and me podcast name. And also we yesterday we put out a video on the new Instagram function Reels with like dancing and music, and you have to
it was really funny.
It out. Yes. And there will be more. Just looking forward.
Yeah, I bet. And Ingrid, it was a lot of fun with you, and thank you very much for your time. And we wish you, of course, the best for the next season, and hope to see you up again on the podium or maybe on first place. Yeah. And thank you very much.
Crossing fingers. I hope you will cheer for me.
Of course.
Yes.
We hope you liked the interview with Ingrid Landmark Tandrevold. If you want to know more about Ingrid, follow her on Instagram, Facebook, Spotify and YouTube. But also follow us on Instagram and share this episode with your friends. All of the links can be found in the show notes. Thank you very much and till the next time.